Hi everybody, I'm Zach and I like movies, and happy Spooktober everybody, I forgot to mention that. Best time of the year if you ask me, and I'm back again for another entry in my Letterboxd Criterion Challenge for 2024. And today's prompt was number 22, which was a movie directed by Louis Buñuel, and I went with his 1962 film, The Exterminating Angels. And this is an interesting movie and a really bit of an odd one because, well, it's Buñuel. And I feel like the more I watch this movie, the more I return to it, I'm gonna have like a lot of various interpretations. Like nothing I say here in this movie, this video, can possibly ever be set in stone. And I'm kind of am just sort of I'm pretty fresh. This is still pretty fresh in my mind. So what the Exterminating Angels is about? It's about a group of formal dinner party guests who find that they mysteriously can't leave the room. They're just kind of stuck in the music room of this grand mansion, and also even the crowd that's gathered outside, they mysteriously can't enter as either. They're just, by whatever means, they're just kind of stuck. Everyone's just kind of stuck in their place. And this movie is odd. It's kind of disturbing at parts, and it's a real puzzler, I think. I think that's obviously very intentional. This is essentially the name. Like, it's Louis Buñuel. Like, if you don't know Louis Buñuel, he is essentially like regarded as like one of the names in the in these kind of movies of these absurdist comedies and these surreal satirizations of the wealthy and the bourgeois and the upper and religion as well. He always had a lot of he always had like very more Marxist leanings about religion and state and the state, which got him to butting heads with the political climate of Spain at the time, which was under fascist dictatorship by Franco. So that fascist influence, control of Spain, and their heavy reliance on religion played a lot of influence on not only Exterminating Angels, but also like what Buñuel was doing with some of his older movies, movies before Exterminating Angels. He was actually exiled out of Spain due to movies like Viridiana, which had a lot that was considered sacrilegious to the Spanish government. And even when the exile was annulled, he didn't really feel comfortable returning back to Spain. Although, as much as he liked Mexico didn't always like him because of his Marxist leanings. And a lot of his movies are always about ridiculing bourgeois systems and mentalities and these ritualistic behaviors of the upper class. I have in my hands here an excellent set of three of his films. Three of his more well-known films. This has That Obscure Object of Desire, The Phantom of Liberty, and a film that felt very familiar watching this, The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie. And that is a very light, very breezy comedy about a group of dinner party guests who can't ever finish a meal. Sometimes they'll sit down to eat, and all of a sudden they're like on a stage play. And other times they're like going off to have sex with each other, and then the army comes in and they get shot at. Oh no. But they just keep looking for that meal. And Exterminating Angels, it's just sort of like something of an inverse of that. This is, because they're just, it's as Buñuel summed up, it's just people who couldn't do what they wanted, which was leave a room. And there's a lot, and there's things about it that you can like really poke into about some class ideas, is like the way that pretty much once all the guests arrive, I've the help, the cooks, the maids, the waiters, all but one of them leave, like as if they have like some like bad premonition that something's going on. But like none of this is ever really explained. It's just this feeling they have. And you have like these they're kind of have these various wealthy people. These very wealthy boys. They just came from like a play. There's a woman who's like known to others as Valkyrie because she's like just so ferocious and she's a virgin. Also, there's a bear there, sheep too, and no real clue what those might represent. I mean, I don't take Buñuel to like have like very literal metaphors, although sheep definitely have a lot of symbolism in like both culturally and religiously. But there's also this like a interesting motif of repetition, like but not a terribly consistent one. Like it does make you question why certain things are repeated and others not. Like why do we see the guests enter the house twice? Why do we see our host stand up and make the same toast before host? And why is it that they find that repetition is what sort of sets them free at the end? Sort of. Well, it sort of does, because they sort of the Valkyrie, the woman that was mentioned before, she sort of gives into sort of like convinced, like when things have really come down to the wire, she sort of convinces the other guests to, all right, just sort of like I was here, I was playing the piano, you were all like here, you were like doing poses here, and here, and it's repeating this action that sort of sets them free, lets them out. Now that's sort of like what ends this mysterious, like, I don't know, force field on them. But even then, that's not the end of the movie. At the end of the movie, these same people, or at a mass congregation, are stuck in a church, and it feels like that their rituals have both set them free, but also trapped them as well. And it's and it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's fun. I don't think it's a very funny movie. I mean, there are amusing moments here, like as one of the characters say, life is amusing and strange, and I do think it is an amusing movie, but it's a mostly strange movie, and it's mostly Buñuel just kind of doing a put down of high society rituals, and what better high society ritual where good posture and manners matters most, but the dinner party. There's there's like dinner parties about, like even like the ritual of the dinner party also has a religious context. The Last Supper. There's no like Last Supper here. There's no Last Supper imagery here, although I know there is one in Viridiana. What you see here is kind of what you might expect. Like these people in all their wealth and all their manners and all their posturing. The more they are put under pressure, the more they are stuck in their one place, and where freedom is just only but within arm's reach away. They are just, all their etiquette just falls to the wayside, and they are broken down into these more base, cruel, petty, and even violent human behaviors. And oftentimes in some kind of creepy ways. Like they're like you have these two. You have these have some guests that are just like demand like killing a host. There's a really creepy moment where like a lady, it's like she has a nightmare where she sees a door open and a hand kind of glide across the floor in a really weird way. And it feels metaphorical. What I got out of it, at least, is that you have these people that are quite literally stuck in their ways, stuck in their beliefs, trapped in this house, in this lavish house that they want to stay the same as it ever was. They wanted so bad just to stay comfortable, and now their discomfort and their everything that they hold up is being sort of pulled out from under them, and they're sort of like reduced to nothing but just like base needs. Just want to get out of here. Like I honestly can't imagine watching this during like your COVID quarantine. If you guys ever had one, I was at work all the time. I didn't have that. But so yeah, that's kind of what I mostly got out of it. And the final shot, yeah, that implies plenty. The people stuck inside the church. Maybe they're praying, or maybe they're like trying to like fight out again, and there's a riot that goes outside, and soldiers come in and shoot at the protesters, and as the violence is breaking out, this small herd of sheep are walking towards the church as the bells are tolling, and that's when the movie goes thin, and it felt like very, there's a lot you could just pick up from that, like obviously the like idea of like flocking like sheep towards religion, and that's Buñuel like very like dressing down these ideas about like religion, like a religious control among society, and the upper classes control the use of religion to control people and make them like sheep. There's a lot here, and I think I would really like to see this again. I think I do. Buñuel is one of those directors that I definitely need to like dig more into too. But what I have seen, I do enjoy. I think he has like a lot of fun. There's always tends to be a sense of playfulness, even in here when like things are kind of like really really stressful and dour. There's like still occasionally some like fun beats, like they're just like smashing into the walls just to get to a water pipe so they can have something to drink, and even when there's like more like these like imageries of like ritualistic ritualistic sacrifice, there's plenty that I can pick up on, but it's never like direct. It's definitely food for thought. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. Also really loved the cinematography too. Very, very claustrophobic, had great use of shadows that like really, the lighting really felt sharp, and the shadows very like dressed the interior very well. Very, very, very impressed like that. Even the cinematographer, Gabriel Figueroa, I should say. He was actually a concern when he saw the final cut. That was like, hey, I saw repetition. Was that a mistake? Oh no, it was by design. And Buñuel feels like a guy who knows what he wants, and but doesn't tell you how to feel about things. And I think his films they're movies that definitely have. They're definitely movies that you really have to feel like for yourself. Like I really enjoy. I don't think I fully understood movies like Exterminating Angel or The Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie, but they're movies I feel, and they're very they do leave an impression, and they're definitely movies that give me plenty to chew on, and I do recommend these. I think there's a number. You can watch this on the Criterion channel. There's a number you can watch. There's plenty of like physical releases like this, and I think that's mostly what I have for you. And I kind of just wanted to get this, get my thoughts on this just out there as fast as I can, because it's we got a hurricane coming our way. It's I'm living in Florida. That's like that's the toll we pay, other than all the road tolls. But there's a hurricane coming, and Hurricane Milton looks to be a big one. It's picked up steam very quickly in the Gulf. It is currently at a Cat 5, which is built up very quickly. But let's not worry, And I'm not gonna end up. But on the good side, there is. Current projections show that it is going to lose some power come landfall. It could drop to a Cat 4. Fingers crossed. Could be a Cat 3. But even if we luck out and it does drop to a Cat 3, that's no spring drizzle. But first theme. But if you've lived in Florida, you're probably used to this. If you're new to this thing, always remember a lot of things to remember. Be prepared. Get your gas. Get your sandbags. Get your flashlights. Make sure you have get a generator if you can. Get portable charging devices so you can charge your phones if you can, and a radio just in case. Also, know your evacuations. If you are in the areas where they sent out an evacuation order, do so if you are able to. If you aren't able to evacuate, or you're not terribly worried about if you're not at risk of flooding or anything like that, stay away from windows. My area in Central Florida is expected to get about Cat 1 level winds, which again, that's not nothing, but be prepared. But more than anything, don't panic. You've been through this before. You can do this again. And as a Florida resident of 30 years now, and by now a many times hurricane veteran, well, I won't lie. I will not mince words. This might be devastating for a lot of people. It's currently it's currently looking to hit the Tampa Bay area. It will probably get hit very hard. Storm surge. Even if it loses steam at landfall, storm surges are nothing to sniff at. We're used to that. Again, be prepared, stay safe, remember your exits, and always check your Waffle House. And I think that's all I got for you. I don't know if I will have power by the end of the week, or if I expect to lose power. I do not know for how long, but don't forget to thank your local and county. Don't forget to thank your county power. Blanket on what they are. They're the maintenance workers for the power lines. Since we can't really bury the power lines, well, they're up there, and they'll get those out. Again, stay safe, get prepared, get all your food that you need, and that'll be it for me right now. I'm Zach. I love movies. I will have more movies to watch, as you can see, and hopefully soon I will have more movie reviews and more thoughts on movies to watch for you in the coming days. Hopefully, this is a real just kind of listening to the wind, playing it by ear kind of thing. But hey, I've been through this many times before. I'm feeling confident that I'll make it. That at least my neighborhood will make it out okay. So yeah, that's kind of it. And keep track of the hurricane. Keep track of your Waffle Houses, and keep watching movies if you're able to. And I will see you all later.